Kia ora.
Kia ora.
How are you?
Good. And yourself?
Good. I am trying really hard right now. Oh, how can I do this? Oh, that's good. That's good. I just need to get you into the other live stream. I'll do that. No, not that. Oh, it's exciting. You made it, Lisa Critchley.
I know. Pretty cool, eh?
Fantastic.
My first one.
Amazing. Okay. Now I just need to. Oh, it's been 2 whole months. I forgot everything I ever learned about doing this. Not funny. Okay, let's have another go. Window. Let's try window. That one. Okay, that's going to be good. Cool. And yes, beautiful, beautiful. That's getting better all the time. Yep, I am talking to myself. It's looking good. Cool. Oh no, don't do it. All right. Oh, that looks much better. That looks much better. Oh, someone else in the waiting room? Yes. Fantastic. Which one are you? Take you off. Hang on. Remove this tile. Yep. Yes. Cool. Oh, lovely. Oh, what a beautiful group. Well, welcome. Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai. Happy New Year. It's been a minute, like it's February already, but I'm saying Happy New Year. Hoping you can hear me. Am I audible? Yes. Yeah. Lovely. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. Honored to have your presence tonight. I am going to do a little bit of an introduction for subscribers and viewers, if you don't mind, because we have a few now. So I just want to welcome everyone that's here and everyone that's watching live. Hopefully there are some, and to anyone also that's going to join it later and watch the podcast. Kia ora, welcome. My name's Amber Fonua, and this is our little monthly catch-up. It's for New Zealand weavers and artists of all disciplines, mainly selfishly put together by me so that I could have the support, mentoring and guidance of amazing people that do the things that I love to do. So trying not to be selfish, I'm putting it here so that other people can hopefully be inspired and be connected to us and can be pointed in the correct direction if they do find that they are interested in what we do and want to find out a little bit more. I also wanted to capture the stories of weavers for the long term, for the next generations to be able to, meet us, should any of us one day not be here anymore, there's something here that's captured around our practice, how we operate, how we roll, and all of the mātauranga or knowledge that we hold and share with each other. So yeah, again, welcome back, ladies. It's been a couple of months since we caught up. I think we had our last one just before Christmas, and we actually cancelled January because it was the holidays. So I thought, oh, I'll let people have a rest and enjoy the holidays. And we were so blessed and lucky to have our first artist interview premiered on our channel. That was Lisa Critchley, who's actually in the meet tonight, which I'm so excited about. I'm so grateful that you're here, so we can learn a bit more about you and just talk through and maybe reflect a little bit on that experience and what that was like, and if it helped in any way, or if it was horrible, or I'd love to catch up and do some feedback around that stuff. My reflections, so I'm starting a new teaching year, teaching a level 4 this year, which is really exciting to me, because I get to teach students that already have some experience, which I think is it's just different. It's wonderful to be able to teach people that are brand new, but it's also different and fun to actually teach people that already have that basic understanding and learning, so that we can just see what we can do next level. So I'm just plodding through and creating my program outline, and thinking of all of the lovely things that I can share with them, things that I was able to learn in my own learning journey, especially in Rotorua for the last couple of years of my degree. I've been pondering my practice also, as I'm going to be just undertaking some studies and trying to really clarify what my practice is over the next 2 years. And so it's been lovely. Lots of quiet reflection, mainly for me centered around the garden, or the Harakeke itself. And because it did dawn on me, it's crazy it took me so long, but it just dawned on me that the weaver's nothing without her supply, and without a good supply she can't create anything decent. So it's taking it right back to the growing and nurturing of the Harakeke itself, and looking at ways conceptually, what does that mean in other areas of life? How could it's just pondering that idea of the garden, really. And and just to flesh that out a little bit, so I've just organized a whanaungatanga at the Auckland Botanical Gardens in the next couple of weeks. So that's for me an action of utilizing the garden, a garden that's already there, a garden that has history and whakapapa to it, and a garden that feeds so many of the weavers in Auckland. And it's about invigorating that relationship, bringing weavers to that place to remind them of what an amazing place it is. And instead of just taking Harakeke from there all the time, actually seeing if we can bring something to that Harakeke and to those amazing people that created that pa, and to the wonderful people that continue to nurture that Harakeke. So yeah, I've just been pondering that, and it's been a very fruitful thing to kind of ponder. A little thing, I registered my business name. Yay, that was a fun little process to go through, yeah, I couldn't tell you what the business was, but I know there is one. I think it's going to unfold as time progresses. I think it's just going to unfold on its own. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I think this kōrero here will form the foundation, part of the foundation of that. Yeah, so we'll see what unfolds. Yeah, and just reminding everyone, anyone that's watching, and you guys in particular, I really need to say that I don't come at this as I'm not trying to say I'm a master or anything like that. As far as I'm concerned, and this isn't to put down or anything, but I'm very much nobody in the te rara, in the world of raranga and te whare pōra New Zealand. There are practitioners out there that will have forgotten more than I'll ever know about this. So I'm here as a fascinated, obsessed person that adores mahi raranga. I see you laughing, Vicki. Loves talking about it, loves diving into it, loves everything about it. And I'm very much here to learn. I'm not here to, say that I'm an expert in anything at all. And the last thing that I was pondering, due to some kōrero I've had with an amazing weaver called Aniwaniwa, and I won't say her last name, but I hope she hears this. When she went to the hui, the National Weavers Hui last year, she said that she noticed a very marked difference between marae weavers and te wānanga or Aotearoa weavers, or weavers that have learned through institutions, I suppose, as opposed to weavers that have learned just being around the marae and stuff. And I found that quite fascinating, and I've pondered it a lot, and I've asked her a bit more about it. And it wasn't a put down at all. And she didn't really go too in depth about what it was that she noticed was different, just that she noticed that there was a difference. And I've been thinking about it quite a lot, because and starting to talk to people a little bit more about it. And it's just an interesting thing to think about. Especially from someone like me who's come into te whare pōra 7 years ago, not knowing the word raranga, and to think about where I am in that lane or space, and then to consider how someone who grew up on the marae, whose mum, nana, great-grandmother were weavers, and how they received their weaving tuition, I guess. Yeah, so it's an interesting thing to think about, and all it really did, it did a lot, but what it mainly did for me was help me clarify a little bit more where I'm coming from, what my space is, what my lane is, and to ensure that I'm not trying to sort of, it just makes me consider carefully how I teach and how I practice mahi raranga, within the space that I exist, or the lane that I occupy, if that makes any sense at all. And yeah, so that's everything that I wanted to really say and start with. And but just a super duper amazing, lovely, warm welcome to everyone. And thank you for being here. I've missed you, and yeah, I'm really excited to hear what comes from the Hui tonight. So I will hand it over, I think, to Who shall I hand it over to? Well, who haven't I seen? I think I haven't seen you for the longest, Angela. So would you mind kicking things off?
Hi guys, how are you all? Is it too late to say Happy New Year? I can't believe it's February already. Here we go again. That's the right. Where am I? It's been a pretty emotional week. We have 1 week left on my scholarship. And I would have done 2 years at the New Zealand Māori Arts and Crafts Institute. That time has gone by really, really quickly. And we were warned it would go quickly. But we were just living our weaving lives under the tutelage of Amanda Wahine at NZMACI. And then suddenly we were told, well, you need to get your 3 exhibition pieces sorted, and this is how you'll be exiting. And it was like, it felt a little bit like they were going to kick us out of the nest almost. It was like, no, I don't want to go. I just want to stay here where it's safe and warm, because now I have to think, what is weaving for me now? What is, why did I apply at NZMACI? I applied to learn to weave. What does that mean to me as a 60-year-old? What does that mean now that is there money involved in this? Is it about money? Is it about healing? Is it about, what's it? Is it about connections? What's my next step? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Every time I think about it, it's it's a little emotional. That's where I'm at at the moment. I had missed the last 2 meetings, and I don't like missing these meetings. Actually, it's funny because it's something nice away from, like it's still weaving, but it's away from my comfort zone. It was a little bit scary to join something outside of what I have got very used to. But because I had met you, Amber, and I had met the beautiful Vicky, I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. And yeah, it's actually quite nice to be in this rōpū. So thank you for keeping on inviting me, even though I tried to attend and life gets busy. And I just thank you for keep on sending me that link in the email, because I think, right, I'm going to make sure I make that next Zoom meeting. And so I left Kura a little bit early so I could drive all the way home and get ready. So I was just sitting there talking to my husband 2 minutes to 6, and I was like, right, could you leave me in the lounge for a couple of hours, babe? I don't know where my poor husband's gone to, but anyway. And he loves the fact that I weave. It was a big lifestyle change for me, and so he sees the benefits of weaving for me, and so he's happy to go and I'm not sure where he is. He might be mowing the lawns or something. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's me at the moment, Amber. So it's lovely to see you, ladies. Thank you.
So good to see you, Angela, and I know exactly what you're going through, which is why this was created for me. Because I'm a lone weaver now after I left my studies. I don't live where I was studying, so hence this. and it's paying off. It's so good. It's the next best thing. You know, like it's regular at least. It's not the face to face, but those things can still happen in between. We can plan those things, but this I think just keeps it connected, keeps us together. And yeah, I know how you feel. I saw that that beautiful photo shoot you had too with all your beautiful kete. That was lovely.
Yeah, so we were charged to make 14 kete each in the space of, I think we had 9 days. And that was really stressful. And we all got a little bit resentful. So there were 4 of us in my intake because we were not allowed to work on our exhibition pieces. We were told, hey, you've got this production module. It had come out of nowhere and we had to make 14 kete. And that was from harvest and prep. So, you know, like, but it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about working under stress. It taught me a lot about what it would be like to be a kete maker out in the world. And my strong point isn't the raranga. My strong point is whatu. And so, oh, excuse my language, I was a little bit shitty. I was like, why do I have to make kete? What, I'm not even strong at making kete. These are not going to be good kete. You know, I had all these anyway. I just buckled down and I did it, and I learned so much about myself, and I learned to appreciate lock-offs and fitties and trying to close the bottom of a kete without being able to drop something right through the bottom of, you know, patterns and dyeing instead of boiling for shortcuts. And I learned about myself too, you know. So, and then we have always tried to celebrate whatever we've done at NZMACI, because we're very lucky we've got a marketing team. And so celebrating the things that we have achieved was a way for us to let our families know what we had done, to record what we had done, and to let other weavers see what's possible, because not many people know about NZMACI, and I was really shocked about that. And so, yeah, I've had a little bit of feedback about, hey, I saw your guys' kete, and I just thought, oh, if only you knew how stressful that was. But I'm glad we looked good in the photo. It was, all 4 of us were stressed, but we got there, so we were really proud of one another.
Yeah, brilliant. I would have thought that your Fāriki module would have helped your ability to prep large numbers of whenua, maybe?
Yep, definitely. But when you're given a very short amount of time, and it was just like, boom, this is what has to happen. And I was halfway through a poi tāneko. And so when you have to put your mahi down to go and do something else, it was, yeah, it was a learning. It was, yeah. And I think we all grew. I knew I did. I grew a lot. So in hindsight, I can be thankful. But at the time, yeah, I was a little I was resentful, but I got there. Yeah, I got there.
Sounds like about 2 a day.
So because there are these amazing weavers at NZMACI, they gave us hints. So, you know, weave up all the bodies.
Yeah.
Weave 7 bodies, and then close them, and then, you know, so there were processes that they would give us hints to trial, you know, things to trial. And yeah, like I say, we all found our flow, and we all got there in the end. So yeah.
It's awesome. So that's like large scale hints, hints and hacks, large scale production.
Yeah, yeah, and the gallery is in desperate need of kete because it's our peak season, and so there's over 1,000 people every day going through Te Puia. And those ladies love to buy a kete and take them overseas. And then and so 52 kitties is it's a great sight to see go into the gallery, and then they put them all up on the wall, and then they all go. They all just sell. Yeah. So.
It must feel, I mean, as difficult as that is, it must feel amazing to be able to contribute something back to.
Yes, so that's a part of the scholarship. So everything we own, everything we make is owned by NZMACI. That's, I suppose, how we pay for our scholarship. And that included our kakahu and our piu-piu, and that's hard. You know, it was really hard. But we knew that going into it. And so, but it doesn't make it any easier when you put all those hours of work into a gown or to have to hand it over. Yeah, it's still hard.
Right. Like giving the baby away.
Yep, definitely. But they are toe eaters at the end of the day, because we are learning, and we all learned something from them. I think that's a good thing I've learned about having a daily reflection. The learnings, take away the learnings and then hand that on. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Angela.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. Ladies, is it going to be Lisa next, I think? What do you reckon? Oh, you got the thumbs up from Vicky, mate.
Thanks, Vicky.
Kia ora, buddy. Introduce yourself to us.
Kia ora koutou, ko Lisa Tukuingoa. There's so much going through my head right now, and actually I just want to acknowledge Angela for your kōrero. You know, what comes after your Harakeke journey, the Harakeke, I reckon, will give you that connection that shows you your flow, and it'll just come and it'll just be a moment to treasure, relish, and grow in, I reckon. But I'm no expert either. I just love it too. I absolutely love it. So a little bit about myself. So about 6 years ago, I actually injured my knee and was on ACC, and I thought in that time I wanted to sort of start creating and start learning about me and my culture, and that's how I met Amber. She was my first raranga kaiako in level 3 Te Wānanga Aotearoa. And to be honest, I can't ever look back. I have so much to be grateful for in that space and the following spaces in level 4 and level 5. And, you know, so many doors open, but also so many doors close. And I say that for the best for you. And I'm still learning. I don't think I'm anyone important. I just love creating, to be honest. And I'm a tutor at Toi Ora, external and internal, for myself in that creative space of just being me and not having to answer to anyone in my work space. That's when Nature's Fold started, and I'm not really business sensed, but I knew in my heart creatively where I wanted to go. So it's kind of led me to being right here now with you guys, with you, wahine mā. I'm not really sure what I need to talk about. It's my first time being in this space, as I'm usually in my classes in Te Reo. Oh, that's something I do. Last year I completed level 1 and 2 Te Reo Māori. This year we had our interview last night, and although I haven't heard back from my kaiako, it feels like I'm in the class. So I'm going to go with that, because that's also manifestation in its finest. What do I say?
Well, let me just say, first off, thank you so much for coming. Number one. Number two, thank you so much for being the first artist that Ko Te Kete has ever interviewed and uploaded to the channel. That was such an interesting process and fun process for me.
Can I just interrupt you just 1 second?
Yes.
So the process of this interview, how it happened, was someone was just coming around to get some beeswax, and then turns up with her camera and everything and says, "Oh, I thought we could do an interview." So that was that. Carry on, Amber.
Yeah, so that was amazing. And I found it just a wonderful, because you're such a natural, you're so easygoing. I'm not surprised you said yes, and it was just beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful little interview, and I had, I watched it. There was the countdown. I did a premiere on YouTube, and I don't know if anyone here watched it, but just the whole process of watching it unfold, and my hubby did music for it, and he edited stuff, and it was just a fun little project, and definitely something I can't wait to do again. And I know eventually I'm going to do a follow-up with you, because you're the first one. We learnt so much from it. I had people saying, "Well, where's her artwork? Why didn't you show any of her artwork?" So I've had the feedback, that on things that I need to work on, and but yeah, just really grateful for that opportunity to do that with you, because you're such a natural, and you just made it really easy, and it's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, so
True that.
thank you for that. But I just wanted to ask you, what kind of feedback you received, what was it like for you watching it? Who did you watch it with, that kind of thing?
Well, I've got some really, really beautiful feedback, actually. Today, my sister-in-law, or ex-sister-in-law, but still my sister-in-law, she took me out for lunch today, and she says, "Lisa, I watched your interview," and she said that she left comments on your page with that, but she was just so, she said it was just so natural. The whole process seemed so natural. It didn't seem like it was mentored through beforehand, and it really wasn't, because it did take me by surprise, I have to say. No, it wasn't easy, but it felt easy. Like, just the thought of being on camera, those kind of things sort of make me a little bit nervous, but you've done enough Zooms, you've had to stand up in class enough times, and kōrero yours. So I should be used to it, but there's always that little space of anxiety. Anyway, she said that she was so appreciative of how, Amber, you handled yourself for your first interview, and how I handled myself in that first interview. So both of our firsts, she said it was so calm and it was natural, and she laughed at little bits because she could see I wasn't pretending to be someone I'm not at all either. My nana, I watched it with my nana when I went down to help her out a little bit. And so she's, at the moment, she's just come out of hospital with pneumonia. And she's struggling to stay awake a lot. So I thought that we might have to stop it halfway through so she can have a rest and that. But she watched it all the way through, and she says, I didn't, you're so natural, Lisa. And she says, I really enjoyed that. That was just, you know, it was just really nice to see you as you are talking about what you do and how you do it and how you cope and all those things. And it was just, you know, it was a beautiful little experience and just a beautiful little project too. So yeah, thank you, Amber.
Amazing. That's so nice to hear that you watched it with your nana. And what about like
I tried watching her facial expressions too, like I, you know, so because we were sitting side by side, so I didn't want her to see that I was watching her, but like, you know, it was nice just seeing her expressions and just her at the end looking at me and going, wow, you're so natural. Was, you know, it was a little bit I've had friends that have half watched it and said that they'll go back to it because they were interrupted when they get a moment. So, you know, like, yeah, where's the artwork? I did think about that once you mentioned it. And I said to, you know what, I have videos all over the show in my Google space, you know, the Google photos. And we didn't even think about those, but yeah, we can do that next time.
It's in the follow-up, mate. So we'll have to schedule that. But yeah, thank you for that. That was really fun. I learned a lot. It's always an education for me. Yeah, there's always things we can do better. But yeah, the first one's in the can and we nailed it. And I just think also that it's a good resource for you if, you know, if there's anyone that you meet that might want to work with you or whatever. It could even be, I don't know, if you put that on a CV or it's somewhere where people can go just to learn a little bit more about you. And I think they can get quite a decent view of what you're like. If they were to interview for a job or just, you know, want to collaborate with you in business or whatever. I think it's a useful thing to have. Some link that people can click on to kind of, you know, learn a little bit about you. Yeah. So I hope it is fruitful in that way. That would be my hope. One of my hopes for having those little interviews that are available online. I'd like to have a nicer. I've just updated my phone, so the video should look a bit nicer. Yeah, little things, you know. It really doesn't need any doctoring because the naturalness of it and it's the easygoingness and the accessibility of it. Just a couple of mates sitting there having a chat about what they love. I think that's really accessible for ordinary people, which we are, you know. So it's really nice to be able to offer that to other ordinary people that might be sort of, yeah, interested in what we do and think they might, you know, have a little go or see what happens. Yeah. But yeah, nice to appreciate you so much for being here. Finally, you're invited to the first one and you're invited to all of them. And that's the same with you, Angela. I don't expect anyone to turn up. I actually never expect anyone to turn up at all. I'm always shocked. But you never need to feel pressure that you know, any pressure. Just come if you can, and if you can't, you can't. But yeah, if you can, it's amazing. Look forward to it. So yeah, don't ever need to apologise about that. But yeah, thanks for coming, Miss Lisa. It's amazing to see you. And I now am going to hand it over to our amazing, beautiful mate, Fāriki. Take the stage, matey.
Kia ora, Lisa. Kia ora, Amber. Kia ora, Angela. Well, what are we up to over this way, over in Gisborne? It's life has really exploded over here. It really has. But I must say, Angela, I was sitting here going off into fairyland when you were talking, because like when you and I first met, that was just over a year ago. We met at that Okataina. And you know, I'm not being rude or disrespectful, but it was the shittiest wānanga I've ever been to. But at the end of it, I said to myself, if I'm going to get into teaching in that, then every single one that I do is going to be next level. And so, you know, as 2025 came about, it just gained momentum and gained momentum to the point of like now, like I'm secured for the whole year now with my teaching here in Tairāwhiti. It's just mind blowing. And Wairoa, I'll say Wairoa too, which is an hour or so. The contract doors are flowing open in Wairoa. I'm heading there tomorrow, the next 3 weekends, sorry. And then here, the Polytech here, because I did an ACE course at the end of last year, and so I met with her 2 weeks ago, and she goes, "Oh, I want you to do a series, Vicky." And this 3 times this came up in a week. I want you to do a series. I said, "What do you mean?" Bridget, her name is, and she said, "Well, I want you to do the series, and then I want you to roll it out again." So I said, "What does that mean?" She said, "Well, you're going to be working all year." I went, "Oh, okay." And then she says, "And then I want to set up a meeting with Tracy." And I go, "Well, who the hell's Tracy?" So Tracy's the CEO. She said, "I really want to start looking at getting my curriculum, right? My curriculum," she calls it. I don't know what the right word is, whether it's verified, certified, because that's what I've been banging home with over here in Tairāwhiti. You only have te wānanga here, you know, in Gisborne for the pathway of raranga. And as I've built my journey with teaching, is a lot of people, they don't want that academic. It suits people and then it doesn't suit people. So that's where I started that last year, to where, you know, for that to be opening up now for me, like it's great. It's absolutely amazing, you know, because it just kind of happened. But I just kept going back to when I met Angela, and you know, I was just on the cusp of starting teaching then. And you know, the opportunities that have come about have been quite phenomenal. You know, it's really cool. It's cool for me. I've actually had to turn down another one because it just didn't sit well with me. Because you know, like that's what I've got to do. I've just got to sit in it. You know, I've just got to sit in it and listen to what my wairua is saying. So I ended up turning one down, and I'm all good with that. You know, I'm all good with that, because you know, it's like I keep going back to Angela. You know, like when you and I first met. And I'm sitting there going, "What the hell, 1 week?" You know, and I think for you, you know, the conversations we had that year and a bit ago, when I look at what's happened for me in the year and a bit, I just sit here and I go, "Wow," you know. So I don't think there's anything to worry about, you know, when our road opens, you know, because all our bloody roads are nearly closed off this way. I'm going to come for a tippy hide your way. So yeah, because yeah, but it's really exciting to see, you know, like for me, when they talk about um you know, getting another level in the Polytech, that's mind blowing, because you only have, like I said, Te Wānanga, and then you have Toi Haukura, which is next high level, you know, high level learning. And that was always my taku when I talked to them, like they want to run ACE courses. I said, so you want people to go to kohanga, which is an ACE course, and then you believe that that will inspire them to go to Toi Haukura, which is university. So, you know, so having the conversations with the ACE coordinator, you know, her and I have got a really good relationship now, for her to say about getting the curriculum that I've done verified under EIT. But then I'm sitting there going, do I really want EIT? You know, I've spent my whole raranga journey, and also the last 2 years, creating that series, you know, that series from the beginners, you know, to however far I want to go. Like, I don't profess to be an expert, but I love what I do. You know, it's like you guys, I love what you do. So yeah, so I'm still sitting in that. I'm not sure whether that's what I want to do, because you know, then it's kind of like you're handing it over to EIT. But then at the end of the day, I just think if it opens doors for people to learn the art of raranga, what the heck, you know? And I don't really want to work full time. I think I've said that before. I'm done with working full time. I get to call the shots the way that I'm doing, and then I can just do, whatever else. Yeah. So it's been exciting to be able to share that, knowing the kōrero, Amber, that we've had, in the last 2 or 3 to this opportunity now. This opportunity with the Polytech, knowing in light of what's happening with the government and that, the government pulled a lot of, I actually didn't know whether our Polytech, I still don't know how it's going, because quite a few of them lost their jobs. And so that's why when this was offered, I'm just going, hey, hang on a minute, but I'm not gonna buff at it. I'm just going to roll with it, So, and then again, because of the funding opportunities that are opening up in Waido, which is about an hour 15, heading towards the Hawke's Bay. It's just like my second home, Waido, so I don't mind, I don't mind that. But, and like, I've had a couple of my students messaging me today, and just, I run a beginner's course, but that was like 4 weeks ago. And just to see their growth, like I get what you talk about now, Amber, when you're teaching, like when you see your students, when you see the students, like they're messaging you, and they've got their new high, and then they're creating. And I look, and today one of them was sending me pictures, and I just thought, just makes my heart, my woe to a bubble, because it's like, that's what it's about. When you're able, what you're able to pass it on, and that was really neat today to see. Just like, oh, heck, I only taught you 4 weeks ago, and look at you, but just that, hey, like that passion and that obsession and that addiction that we have, you can just pass it on, So so it's been pretty explosive over here with the opportunities for me, and I love it. I'm really, I don't know whether I'll do any study this year. I think that'll be enough for me. But then I did find out today about I caught up with a mate of mine today, and she signed up for the level 6 tikanga here in Tairāwhiti, but the kaiako is a raranga. She does raranga, so she's using the tool of raranga. So I thought, oh, I'm going to message her, just for my own personal growth. So I'm going to message her tomorrow, and tonight, and then just see after the long weekend what happens with that. Because I didn't know that until today. Now I know. I want to go and suss it out. So, but that's me.
How exciting.
Yeah.
How exciting, Vicki. And I just love that there's those, because this is our 11th, I don't know how many you've attended, if you came to the first one or not. I know you've come to quite a few, but just hearing, the different, where we're all at the different each month.
Yeah.
And hearing the struggles, and then hearing and celebrating the wins, and seeing what can change in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to be able to share in that with others.
Yeah.
And also to have the moment and the ability to reflect on my own year. It's so rewarding and fulfilling to be able to do that. And it's such a precious gift. And thanks for I'm so excited for you, mate. And I know you.
Oh, it's mind blowing. Like when I met with Bridget, it was just the 8th coordinator. It was just like, oh yeah. She said, touch base in the new year. Which, they're closed till about the 3rd week in January. So I just emailed her, said, oh well, let's have coffee when you're ready. And I sat down, and when she was sitting, I was going, hang on a minute, did I just hear right? So I created a series of 5, and the dates. And then that's from now till February till June, and then July till December we'll roll it out again. So it's like, oh, where did that come from?
I mean, there's no greater compliment, really, Vicki?
Yeah.
Because you can slog away at that type of thing, and no one cares.
That's right. No, you're right. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
But within maybe like a corporate type of institution, that's
Mm.
a huge kind of behemoth type of thing. But that's, to me, that's the ultimate, to have that,
Yep.
have that opportunity right in front of you so that you can
Yes.
create it.
Yeah.
And then saying, yes, here's the money. As opposed to, writing all these applications and
Yeah, well, that's it. That's exactly what went through my head, because that's hard work. I did come into the new year thinking, is that really what I want to do? Is that really what 2026? The funding's getting harder. You're alone, right? You just think, well, what will be, will be. And so, well, what will be, boom, and there it is. I don't have to. And what's happened with the Wairoa one is my best friend over there. She's born and bred. So she's got her ear to the ground. She finds funding where no one knows, and so she's advocating for Wairoa, because Wairoa misses out. You've got Tairāwhiti, you've got Wairoa, you've got the Hawke's Bay. Wairoa often misses out as that little shitty town an hour, and it's got a bit like, but that's how I was brought up in kōrero. So that's why I love Wairoa, because it's very much like my hometown. So when my mate started applying for this funding, she does all the admin, she gets the people going. I just walk in there, run the wānanga, get paid before I run the wānanga. I thought, this is the life.
So what am I doing wrong?
That's she's doing her raranga journey for me, and I don't take that lightly, and she says that in her whakapanaunga, the whakapanaungatanga. She'll say, I'm doing this because of where I started with Vicki, and that's like, it takes a while for it to register with me, because you're just doing what you love to do. It's really humbling, but it's a beautiful humbling, because I just think this is the life, and that's what I think with you, Angela. I don't reckon there's anything to worry about. I'm like, boom, something's going to happen, because you didn't do that blood, sweat, and tears, for nothing. Yeah.
And I'm a believer in the universal. Just like
Yep.
my intention is pure.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to put into words without sounding really airy fairy, but I believe in what I'm doing, and I love what I'm doing, and it's been really healing, and it's been a joyous journey for me to meet the people that I have in the 2 years. And you were talking about that particular wānanga that we went to, Vicki, and I'm the sort of person who, well, you can't do anything about that.
No.
There's going to be gems, and you were one of my gems, and there were a few other gems. There's always something good.
Yes.
You can't always look at the bad.
No.
It's not a good way to live your life, and so I'm always looking for the gems, and then. My kids say I have "talk to me" written on my forehead, and so everywhere I go, people will just come up and talk to me, and I'm always pleasantly surprised. I don't know. I must have something about me that people feel it's okay just to come up and talk to me. And then, I make another connection. Then I know somebody from down in Gisborne, and I know somebody from down in Wellington now, and I know somebody from, and then, you popped up again, Vicki, and it was like, oh, okay. So I was meant to meet you that weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you were the easiest lady. You were just so, I think you just came up and started telling me about making portai and things like that, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I just thought you
just the obsessed one,
I didn't have any of the correct gear that we were meant to have, because it was all meant to be supplied and it wasn't.
Oh,
And you just think, oh, you don't have a hui, here, have a hui. It just gave me a hui, you know. And I was like, oh my God. And those are, and my hui is still there, but you know,
nice.
pride of place beside my fireplace. But it's lovely to meet people, you know, genuine people.
Yeah.
I don't have a competitive bone in my body. I'm not out there trying to beat anybody at anything. Not like you, I'm not a master at anything. I'll never be a master at anything. I don't know the difference between a marae weaver and a institutional weaver. I know that, you know, emotions are where is what I know, you know, like it doesn't matter where you come from. When you're happy, when you're sad, you're sad.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of connections that I think are real.
Yeah.
You know, where you came from to be where you are, it's great, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's me.
I think that whole kōrero about it just made me think. It just wasn't something that I'd ever thought of before, because I don't come from, you know, a marae life. I come from the suburbs.
Yes.
And we're removed from all of this, you know. So it just sort of shows me that 7 years into learning and going hard, like really hard, obsessed, like with Harakeke and raranga, I know so little, you know. And it just really, you know, when I hear something like that, it really dawns on me how little I know. But that's cool. It's exciting because it means that this whole universe is to unlock and dive into and get lost, and you know, and that's for the rest of my life. So I don't mind at all, you know, like it's lovely. You know how, I don't know if you experienced this, but I'm past 50, 51 now, and I've watched a lot of movies in my life. And now when I watch a movie, it's like, oh, okay, I know what's going to happen. But it's with raranga and raranga life, it's so, you know, you never know what's going to happen. It's rich, deep, and it's massive, and it's constantly surprising, and you never know how things are going to end, like, you know, and all these, you know. So I think that's what I love about it too, because I'm a person, you know, I don't like to say this, it sounds very shallow, but I get bored, you know what I mean, and do the same thing. I'm not into doing the same thing. Generally, when I learn to weave something, I'm just on to the next thing. I don't really, like, I would say I'm okay at kete, because once I learned how to make one, or make one well, I'm over it. I want to learn something else. So I love it because it's so deep and long and immense that I can get lost in it and never get bored, I think. It's like traveling, I guess, or that sort of thing, you know. It's like you're constantly getting a new experience, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's just me and how I am, and I appreciate it. But that whole thing of differences between marae weavers and how we teach within the institution as well, and how it is tied to the to the idea of curriculum and doing things a certain way. It made me think a lot, you know, like when I teach, it's a lot about, when it comes to students, it's thinking about discussing the purpose, discussing the kaupapa. And I had a little think about how, you know, when it's everyday kete, it's probably green harakeke, whereas if you're making a Fāriki, like a beautiful art piece or something like a fine piece of art, that might be more when you're going and processing, you're boiling, your hapene until it's, you know, perfect. So that might be a difference in the way I can express to students why maybe just green or why processing. Because I think a lot of students often ask me, well, why should we boil? You know what I mean? You know how that question comes up. And they don't really understand why. And it just sort of helped me think about, yeah, why? But I know when it comes to making a Fāriki, I want a lot of whenua that are a similar grade, or they're at a level of beauty and consistency, because it's going to be on show. Whereas if I'm making a kete for the boot of my car, I can just use green harakeke and knock up a waikawa for the boot. You know what I mean? And I don't have to put any gloss on it or any shine on it, and I can make it and use it for its purpose straight away. So just from a kaiako perspective, it made me think about things a little bit differently and how I might discuss why green, why processed. Yeah.
I had that kōrero this week, and because this weekend I'm doing the Fāriki wānanga in Wairua. Very basic, you know, very basic. But what happens is the people who participate, like I start like a private page, so you build up momentum. So one of the students says, she sort of says, oh, well, why are we boiling, you know? Because there's certain wānanga I hold and I don't. You've got to be at a certain level, you know? It's like when I collab with my mate and we do the Wakatu Papaku, I won't very rarely let beginners, because you've just got to, you know, it's hard on you as the kaiako. So yeah, but this same student, so it's going to be interesting because I haven't met her face to face. So she put up this post of this exhibition, and then the kōrero was around tables and chairs. This exhibition was about tables and chairs, and then she put this comment and she sort of says, well, you know, sitting at a table and a chair weaving is weak. And I thought, that's interesting. So I sat on that for a while, and then I says, well, what's your name? Tunane. I said, well, Tunane, I said, as the kaiako, I said, I've got to cater for everyone. And I says, and me as a nanny, if I get on the floor, I can't get up, right? So I said, as the kaiako, I've got to cover for, you know, you've got to cover for everyone. And so it was really interesting, the conversation that where she said, you know, that something about sitting at a table and chairs is colonization. I thought, well, this is going to be an interesting weekend, because don't take me there, because I don't get into, you know, it's just the art of raranga, you know. But I just thought, I just says, well, Tunane, I says, we cater for everyone. So if you want to sit on the floor, kete pai. If you want to sit at a table, kete pai, you know. But she was another one who talked about, well, why are we boiling? And I had to talk exactly what you were saying is, hey, when you're doing Fāriki, that's next level. We're not doing a big Fāriki because we only got 2 days, you know, so we're teaching them like the tūwhara style, but all the techniques, but it's just like, oh, where Vicki, take a big breath on the way tomorrow and kia ora. That's the joy of being a kaiako, eh?
It really forces you, to like,
Yes.
When you get those statements or those
Yes.
questions, it really
Yes.
forces you to go, well, why? Yeah,
Yes.
why?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it, because because I know that the more informed I am, the more I understand. Actually, my students, they just fly.
Yes.
Because I can give them the correct building blocks of the things, the tools, whether it's concepts or whatever, to have success in what they're doing. But if they're going in blind on everything, they won't have success, and it will be a miserable experience. So the better I understand, the more success my students have, and it just goes better. So yeah, it's So interesting. Those I love those political things too when they come up. I mean, I know people shy away from those type of things, but I actually love it because it's such a perfect place for that.
Well, it's a great thing for you. For me, it's like, you know, I won't get into a conversation if I'm not comfortable about it, you know, and I'm not going to be pulled into, you know, like, you know, as you know, as a kayak, you know, you're mentally, physically, spiritually, everything preparing before you go in there. But you know, the same student, and I thought this is going to be interesting in a good way because, you know, she's actually tangata whenua, like the marae, because, you know, we're taking our wānanga and wairo to the marae now, you know, because that's what my friend, that's her heartbeat, is that we hold these wānanga at all the marae around Wairo. And so I thought, hero, the kayak will be called on, you know. And now as we get there, I thought I find it interesting because, like, I just think that I'm solid in who I am and solid in what I'm doing. And that's not what the weekend about. So for me, that's how I diffuse it. It's like, well, you know, we cater to all. If you see it sitting at a table and chairs, we go, kia ora. But I don't, because I can't get up off the floor. So
Oh, it's funny. I just did a funsy wānanga at home just this weekend, actually, with just a group of my friends, and they says, "Oh, where are we all going to sit? We might have to move your lounge around." I said, "Oh, on the floor." In my mind, I'm like, I don't know why I said that because I cannot get off the floor. You know, like it's a struggle. I need something behind me and around me so I can support myself. But then the answer to that came in the messages was like, on the floor, colonized. And I'm like, is it though? Because I remember it, but you know, like all these things. And I'm like, I remember in class, there was some on the ground, some of the tables. I was always at a table because I can't get up off the floor.
exactly. Yeah.
It's just for comfort, right? Like you said, Vicki, it's absolutely
simple. Yeah.
So anyway, they bought their tables. But it was fun anyway, you know. It was just a fun day. And it was more like a refresher, like a little refresher thing, you know. They had all wanted to do raranga, but they had never really been taught or never really soaked it in to want to do more. So they asked for it and I gave it. It was fun. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I wove, my Fāriki was 8'4", and I could not get on the floor, and I wove that on a table. Now, when I was, because I've got a bad hip, I was in a car accident, and I was amazed at how many came to tell me, oh, Nanny's weave on the Fāriki on the table all the time. And so I was like, really? Because I was a little bit whakamā that I couldn't get down on the floor. No, and then I found out, oh, this is a thing that, you know, a lot of, because it's mainly our nannies that are weaving the Fāriki on the marae, and a lot of them can't get on the floor, and so they weave these huge Fāriki on tables. And I didn't think of a Fāriki as being a fine piece of work, because to me it was like a practical, you know, people walk on them. They're like a hati. So when we did everything about our hiki, everything about the whenua, like we chose strong whenua, like we were expected. No, that harakeke is not strong enough for Fāriki. You've got to go down there and harvest down there, because that Fāriki, you know, that harakeke is strong for Fāriki. And, you know, same with the hikis, the hiki that we did, you know, no, do the hiki this way, because which is a double hiki, because it makes it really strong, because people are just going to walk all over these things, you know, and so that was a learning for me about, I mean, they were beautiful. These Fāriki were absolutely amazing, but our hope as a foursome was that they would all be sold together and they would be used as
Man.
Fāriki ona marae.
Mm.
So, yeah, I never thought of them as being a fine piece of work. I thought of them as being I don't know. I don't know. I just never thought of them as being a fine piece of work.
Yeah, I see this conversation is evidence really of the depth and the breadth and the differences between weavers and conceptualizing weaving. And see, because for me, my father's Tongan, and so to us the mat is the ultimate. It's the ultimate. You actually put it on your body, and so that was sort of the framework I was coming from when I created my Fāriki. I was hoping to make something to wear. Now I wasn't able to source enough soft enough harakeke to actually put on my body, so it turned into a Fāriki. But yeah, for me, maximizing every single whenua, and I think maybe that's just who I am when I do stuff like that. I just want it to look amazing. So I work so hard on my prep, and I just won't use it if it doesn't make the grade. Oh, I'll use it for B grade stuff or whatever. I'll use it for something else. But also when I made that Fāriki, I was all by myself at home, because I was studying in Rotorua, but I barely was able to get down there. So I spent a lot of my time doing it here at home by myself. So I didn't get the richness of the kōrero around me that I could have had I been at noho and around other weavers at the time. So a lot of it was just trial and error and figuring it out. And the other thing was I went down there to one or two noho, and I got the hiki, you know, the left Maui hiki, you know, Maui and mato, and that was pretty much it. I just had to sort of figure it out. And so yeah, I guess I made a Fāriki, but there's probably a lot of gaps in my understanding of my body did it and my hands did it, but I don't really know. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't be really specific about all of the things that I did to create that. So yeah, that's sort of, I guess, where my thinking is around the Fāriki. But yeah, to me, it's a fine piece of weaving, and I would say an exceptional, for me personally, I think that the skill required to make that it blew away any other thing that I had made up to that point. I think it's not the weaving of the Fāriki, it's the prep of the 2,500 consistently beautiful, because I butchered 1,000 before I got to be able to create consistently beautiful whenua. So to me, it's the production is the quality, the learning, not so much the weaving of it. I think that's the easy fun part.
Yeah.
The creating the whenua is really the advanced skill that you gain from creating a Fāriki, I think. Yeah.
And that's why too, like my friend that I do the collab with, that we do the Wakatu Papaku, that's what you said, Angela. That's why I'm taking her with me this weekend, because she does that double hiki in that, and that's like, I've not even got to that, but she does it with the Fāriki for like, it's another, like how Amber, you talk about wrapping, so she does the Fāriki for wrapping the tūpapaku. So you know, the students are not even they don't even realize what they're going to be exposed to, and that's how extravagant I love to be. You know, we're going to learn the basic Fāriki, but how versatile the Fāriki is, you know, and that's when you start really treading on different ground, you know, and that's why my friend, she's the expert, but we work so well together, and hey, we don't know everything, and that's why I said to you last week, because no, you're coming with me because you're at another level with the Fāriki that I'm not even at, so you're coming with me and you're going to work alongside me, you know, because she's kind of like my mentor, you know, and so, and I says, and then it just gives you opportunities, because she, you know, I love doing the collabs with her, because she's another one, like, you know, she just got osteoarthritis in there, but she says, I can't do these wānanga anymore on my own. I says, oh, good, that's why we can do it together, you know. So, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. But, you know, like the saying is that one, I've never, ever heard that kōrero before about table and chairs, never. So I thought that would be an interesting one to throw out there, because it's like, oh, weird.
Honestly, I'd probably laugh if someone said that to me.
Well, I read it and read on the page, and
say.
one of the girls messaged me, and they're going, how do you interpret that, Vic? I said, well, I don't. I said, that's her own opinion, and that's her opinion. But, you know, what is reality for me like that? It's like, well, you know, we have to cater for the 80-year-olds that come, and we cater for the 20-year-olds, you know. It's not going to be an issue for me. And if the student starts up, I'll diffuse it, because it's like, no, that's not what we're here for, you know. So, yeah.
I've also heard from an experienced Fāriki weaver that, they never wove on the tables, but her belief was that because they only had a certain amount of tables and they had to eat off them, so they never did their weaving on those tables. But, you know, I always say when we were at kura that this is a learning space, this is not an eating space. So you're most welcome to weave on the table, on the floor. It's up to you, whatever suits your body the best. But yeah, so sometimes those tikanga are for a reason, because there's not many tables and they don't want to.
Yeah,
off the
and
floor.
that's what you got to check, wherever you go. It's like when I went to a tangi way up north before Paihia, I asked one of the nannies, you know, like, even though it was at a tangi, like I'd never, some of the stuff that I learned, I'd never ever heard of it before. So you have to ask. So, you know, that's like I glean off my mate in Wairoa, because that's her marae, you know. So you need to tell me what you know, and so that's why, with the funding that her and she secured, is we've actually got our own resources now. We've got all our own high tables, you know. So that was the reasoning behind that. So we're not put in that position of a facility not having enough. Yeah.
I learned how you were saying about fine weaving, Amber. Kimberly loved the Fāriki module so much that now she is making a 3 papa Fāriki iti, but it's still big. To me, it's huge.
When
it's
you
like
said
a whara,
Mm.
but Leah is weaving a takapapa now, and that's got 3 papa too.
Ooh.
And so, and that's fine weaving.
Mm.
But because I don't think nobody's standing on those, you know what I mean? So you're right, it's around, like, I knew nothing about Fāriki and that. So yeah, it's everybody, just the knowledge that they have at the time of what they're doing, and I don't have hardly any knowledge. Yes, I know this much though, Amber. We strived hard to get the same red and the same black. We dyed on the same day, the same. We all harvested from the same place. We even prepped on the same day. Listening
That's
to
amazing.
you know, and cracking up laughing, and because it was. We were alone in a space that was big enough to house all 4 of us, with these huge, you know, doing this mahi. And yeah, we did. We we all, like, we would compare. Oh, yep, that red's the same. Okay, so we're all on the same. We've all got the
Nice.
same. So there's that level of standard that you're striving for
Yep.
always.
Yep.
When you're making anything, because you want it
Yeah.
to be beautiful. You want it to. You want your whānau to be proud of. You want your pauako to, yeah, so I should not have said that. Yeah, fine, weaving. Yeah. But there's beauty in everything and
Yes.
meaning in everything. So,
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, I hold the Fāriki up really high.
Same.
Yeah, I just do. I don't know why. I think because I understand probably the level of difficulty
Yeah.
required.
Yes.
Whether you're standing on it or not,
Yeah.
you're lucky to stand on one because there's none left.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what tells you how precious and amazing they are, because no one can do it anymore because it's so hard to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so that's why for me it's you stand on it, you sit on it. But that, to me, that space that the Fāriki creates for the whānau to sit on, to me that's a magical space. It's a portal. It's a you know what I mean? It's
I do.
it's not, to me, it's not just walking over it. It's a space you stand on, but what you're standing on is something pretty special.
Yes.
And to me, the Fāriki, the whenua of the Fāriki represent, to me, the whole universe. Or me. They represent me. I'm the Fāriki. And so, there's something about it that, to me, is, I mean, I put it, I don't know, like, it may even be more to me than a korowai. I don't know, but to me, it's really, really, really super special to me. It's just how I see it.
No, you're right, actually, Amber. Murray Bidwa took us through a ceremony, the flipping ceremony.
Oh, wow.
And part of, I'm just remembering. I'm only just now remembering because you're sparking these things in my. One of the things that he had said to us that was precious about a Fāriki was, and why they roll them up afterwards and put them away, is because whatever is happening in the wharenui at that time happens on those Fāriki, and then you leave that there.
Yes.
You don't take it with you. Whether it, if it was mai, if it was anger, if it was whatever, you lay it all out on the Fāriki afterwards. We karake and we roll those Fāriki up, and everything's in there.
Wow.
We store them, and then they settle in their toe, which is why there's never one Fāriki. There's always, if you're lucky, two, blessed more. And then those Fāriki settle together in their space, ready for when it's time to pull them back out again. And so, I
love that so much, and that you've actually expressed what I'm trying to say. Is like, I could have like you put one person wears it, but the Fāriki, the whole whānau's on that, you know what I mean? And I always think of mokopuna sitting on it when I'm gone, kind of thing. I envision when I think of the Fāriki, that they're sitting on it, doing the things that families do, sit down and eat together, sit down, watch telly, whatever it is. There's something about that to me it's just beyond. It's hard to express. But I hold it it's a deep love, a deep respect for the Fāriki weaver. And because I understand what it's like for one person to make one as well, and what I put myself through, I've never been through anything like that in my life, and I don't think I ever will somehow. I don't know. It was, I used to go to the gym every single day, and I do a workout and also sit in the sauna and stretch out my hips, and just my whole body, so that I could get down on that floor, because I wasn't able, I don't have tables or anything here to big enough to do that in my whare. So I put all that effort into making sure that my body could cope with the workload. And yeah, I sort of I just gained a massive respect for the Fāriki weaver, for the Fāriki itself, and also me for what I was able to complete sort of as a lone weaver at home. There's all those, those layers to it and more, but yeah, I never thought, you see mats, you take them for granted. I know my family, my Tongan family, they're just so many of them, and they're lucky because they still have the village life where they can make mats together. But we don't have that life, Yeah. One person really shouldn't make a Fāriki all by themselves.
Well, tell me about it.
But yeah, I gain respect. I gain so much respect for myself, the knowledge and yeah, our ancestors that did all these things, in zero technology days. But that's where you see that the value of the community and the difference between, a community weaving Fāriki and one silly little human, one crazy lady making a Fāriki at home. I wouldn't recommend it, but I've done it, and I sort of felt like I got my degree the day I finished my Fāriki. The paper's like, oh, it's a nice bit of paper, but mate, I really earned that. I really earned it making that thing.
You're lucky you get to keep your Fāriki.
I know. I am so lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky. And anything on the horizon, Miss Lisa? Anything interesting?
Sorry, I haven't made Fāriki before. So I am quite nervous, anxious, and excited to get one started.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nothing I've ever done, but I hear kōrero everywhere. Each kōrero that I've heard has always like something that you've all spoken about. There's always that conversation in each conversation I've had too. So, and like I really, really envy, but not in a bad way, but just really envy anyone who can pull that stuff off, because that looks like mahi hard. But yeah, when I think I'd like to do it more when I have a bit of time, like a real bit of time, like a holiday time. And I would love, like, Vicki, I'm like listening to your kōrero and all your wānanga. Oh, you just sound amazing. I want to come join one of your classes one day soon too. What's new on the horizon? Actually, for Nature's Fold, I've just been, so this is the little bit in the interview, if you watched it, that Amber's going, okay, calm down, because this was the exciting thing for me. So yeah, I do a lot of, I teach a lot of raranga, the very basics, and it's more for a well-being and achievement kind of thing for the people that I give it to. I've just been approached by an NGO organisation to bring in a group of people for mahi. So like we've got that first meeting next week. So I'm quite excited, and it's all has to be mahi toi. So like I'm really stretched for, you know, all the things, and the only thing that we can't share is whakairo, which is a big bummer. But you know, like I do know a lot of people who are so skilled in so many areas, and it's just an opportunity for doors to open for them, an opportunity for our tauira who come, and an opportunity for myself to grow as well. And I'm quite excited. I'm nervous as hell. Normally I would have said an F word there, but I'm nervous as hell, but excited more than I'm nervous. You know what I mean? So quite yeah, I'm quite excited for that. That's what's on my horizon.
This is a very
I love
esteemed
that. I love that, Lisa, because like I just what you're saying about the well-being, you know, because like I come from a nursing background, and when I left nursing a year and a half ago, you know, like someone said to me the other day, "Are you going to go back to nursing, Vicki?" I said, "I never left." I said, "When I teach raranga, it's always around well-being, self-care, you know,
Yeah.
when you're, you know, teaching." So I just incorporate, you know, so I love what your kōrero about that, you know, when you're teaching it around well-being.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have lost a lot of my skills, you know, like kete whakairo, pōtai, not kakahu, because I just love fiddling with little bits and strands of things. But yeah, it's all for me. See, raranga was my first rongoa. And I actually also teach a little bit of rongoa as well, but that was my first rongoa.
Nice.
And probably the same, I guess, with a lot of people, but because it taught me mindfulness, like you can go away in your own little world and you can discover the processes and you know, the what ifs and the cool things that might come out of it. You can think about the bad things, but it's always you don't ever really think about bad things when you're weaving, and I don't know why, but all the bad shit just seems to disappear while I'm weaving. And that's the experience I want my tauira to have. It's not how perfect the piece is. It's the fact that you've achieved this and you've stuck around long enough to actually to have that moment of, you know, that kind of moment of completing something. And to be honest, a lot of people I teach, not a lot of the people, but a lot of people I teach have that inconsistency in their lives. So the people that I do teach are transitioning from either prison or the streets into housing, and so that's the level that I'm at. And just seeing them accomplish it, what you said before, Vicki, seeing them accomplish something, seeing them get excited about going and doing a hauhaki, having them come back and kōrero to me about that hauhaki, how it made them feel a wairua and at peace, and just getting out and being in the environment can change someone's world in an instant. If I can start somewhere like
100%,
that.
100%. I think I shared it, the last one, Amber, when I did that one, out at Whangara Marae, and my mate works with reintegrating wahine back into the community from prison. And you know, I just taught a basic puti and whatever. And this one particular wahine, they said that all the workshops they had on the marae, she'd just walk out. She just, you know, but yet she stayed. Like my workshop was meant to be 1 hour. 3 hours later, her and I are still there talking, and she says to me, "You know, miss," she said, "have you ever thought of teaching this to people with addictions?" I said, "Well, why not? I am addicted." And we're cracking up laughing. But that's what made me realise the impact, exactly like that. If you can impact someone that's had a real shit life and they can just meet you and have that conversation, then that's what keeps me going. You know, you don't know people's lives, you don't know the impact, you know, but when you're immersed in that te whare pura, life is just different. You know, it will never be the same. And that's why I strive to keep doing exactly the kōrero that you said.
Yeah, I'll probably be still giving wānanga, you know, way in my 80s. This is how much
hard out. Yeah.
in my 80s until I can't.
Might be porter. I'll still be making porter when I'm 100 years old.
That's my dream in life. Like, it's not just the only dream, but it's one I want to be able to use my hands as often as I can. And it doesn't matter what I'm creating, but working with Harakeke or working with nature actually is the one thing that I do get excited about a lot. So, and it keeps me young too. Like, it keeps my hands moving. I didn't have really good hands before raranga, and I actually, when I first started in your class, Amber, my hands hurt for a long time, long time. But eventually you keep weaving, right? And and you don't even think about it anymore. And it's just a thing now. It's not even a thing anymore.
No. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's a bloody weed eater going off in the background, so I'm just going to keep pausing and sorry.
You hear the door, mate.
Oh, that's okay. I'll leave it on.
I can hear it. I think you muted yourself again, though. Well, I mean, I guess, it just mind boggles really how important this kōrero is for me and how much I get out of it, and how lucky I am, how blessed we are to have what we have. And I'm looking around the room and I'm thinking, what an amazing group of people, and all the successes. It's a whole new life, eh? Like, if you're like me and you've finished raising your kids, it's a second whole brand new life. And there's nothing, there ain't gonna be slowing down until until it can't work anymore. It's fascinating, it's wonderful, it's interesting, it's people, it's stories, it's learning, it's so what everyone said, Angela. Just keep doing it. You'll see. Look at these guys. They're like, people are paying these people to do what they love to do.
It's awful, I tell you.
It is, right?
I could do this and not get paid at all, actually. One of the things that when you go for an interview at the Institute is all they ask is that you pay that back. You learn all this smart and all they ask is that you just give it back in your family, give it back in your community, give it back in your iwi, your hapu, and I'm happy to do that, because the rewards for me are the connections that I make with people, and that's priceless, and I'm lucky to be able to do that, and so and I'm happy to do that and be open to whatever else.
Well, Angela, earlier you said that you have that sign on your head that says "Talk to me." I have that sign on my head too. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. You'll find it'll just help. But how I started though was just doing raranga sessions, making puti in the community, for the community. No money, but the opportunities come from those things. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Is she frozen?
Yeah.
Mama, you're frozen, Angela. Reboot. Darn it. I think what was really cool too, though, is that you got that job here, Lisa, from this kōrero.
I know, I wasn't even there.
So that was
so
awesome.
true.
That was awesome.
I do still
like to see you come back and talk about that.
Yeah, like that still blows my mind. And like I said to you, my boss and I are still you know, quite wowed about the whole thing. Even, you know, I got this most beautiful card at Christmas, and it was just so nice to say that I was a refreshing person that could bring to old concepts into the space as well. And far out to have that written in a little card, you know, it was it. What do you say to that? You know, like, and I still am blown away. I like, where was this place? You know, like, it was the place that I needed for me more than they needed me, I guess. But like, when I walk in the room, I feel like the energy is just so hyped, and it's like walking into a whole nother world. So how can you, if you're having a grumpy day, how can you even walk in there grumpy? Like, because the minute you get there, it's just like noise, chaos, but laughing and singing and you know, just everything. I went back for the first time today, this week on Monday, and so last year's project was to create something made out of anything that can be recycled, upcycled, or reused, no matter what, on a little canvas, probably an A3 size canvas, and we made the backdrop to it this Monday, and it was just such a cool, like, the kōrero and the laughing that came out of that 2 hours. 2 hours, and it went so fast. But it's just that whole well-being thing, Vicki, like you say,
it is.
Being able to keep people's energy up there. But it's not even
it so is. I mean, I went to up in Kawhia. Every year they have this weaving wānanga up in Kawhia. So I went last year, and the impact it had on me, I decided, right, every year that's going to be my go-to. And because, like, my jam is pōtai. Like, I literally am obsessed with pōtai. So when I go last year and this year, I went already, like, for me and my wairu, is like, okay, the first person that I'm drawn to, that's the first pōtai, I'll make one. Now, this wahine, we no word of a lie, we just got through to the pōwhiri and finished, and I turned around and I looked at this wahine, and she looked at me, and I introduced, I said, have we met before? She says, no. And so we got talking. Anyway, I made her a pōtai and gifted it to her the next day. And she come up to me, she said, you don't even know my story, Vicki. I said, do I need to know your story? I don't need you, but if you want to tell me, you know, hey, talk to me. But, you know, when I heard her story, I thought, you know, that, and then the flow on from that was like, she gifted the pōtai to her brother who's going through cancer treatment, right?
Wow.
He's just sent me, like I show you, hang on. He just sent me this, you know, he does taonga. So, you know, so it's just like, man, this is just mind-blowing. And he goes, I want to send you this, Vicki, but I got no string. I said, it's all right. I said, I got a mate that does the, you know. So you just think, when you just do something little like that, it's and for me, like, my own business concept was around aroha and healing. Everything that I do, that's what encompasses it, you know. So I said to her, when she said she wanted to gift it to her brother, I said, oh, that's cool, because, you know, it's loaded with aroha and healing, you know. And then I said to her, I 100% believe he'll be healed from that cancer, you know. And so, like I said, it's not just about the weaving, it's that, like, the impact that you have. It's not intentional, but it's like, hey, like we said, oh, talk to me. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me that things are working out for you then, Vicki. If that's your purpose for teaching.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's why it continues to work out, eh?
Yeah, 100%. And I think I expect nothing less, you know, and myself, you know, like I think to myself a couple of years ago, you know, hubby and I went through quite a big life event, and we sat there and we said something that could have destroyed us to where we're at now. And I think to myself, there's something there's something, you know, when you're tested beyond. And so now the stuff that's happening, it's like, I get it now. You know, so for me, the raranga just ramps up even more because of the aroha and the healing. It's not just about weaving, you know, like when I teach, it's about, you know, that the room from when I teach them about te whare pura and being in that space, it's like the healing, you know, like you're saying, is like everything goes. You forget about everything. Life is, you know, and some people, they've never experienced that to be, just to be, you know. So when they experience that, that turns them in life. Well, I think something simple, but it's quite phenomenal, really.
100%, I think, what you're talking about, because like you said, you can't have bad thoughts when you're weaving, Lisa.
No, that's it. Yes.
So
It doesn't allow it either.
No.
Yeah, well, because you've got to focus and
Yes.
but you know, those things, like, I'm not, you know, this is just opinion stuff. Okay, so when you think about a word like anxiety or depression, that's when in here.
Yes.
Right? And you're not, and you're like in it.
Yeah.
But when you're weaving, you're not stuck in.
You're not in your head. Yeah, that's right.
Why you can, and you weave it out. Weave it out.
That's it. Yeah.
It's the staying in it that can exacerbate it, but it's being able to get out of it.
Yeah.
That allows you to experience some healing and some life. And and
you're right there, Amber, you're right, because some people are so consumed by it. So then when they experience that and they realize, you know, it's like that flicker of hope, you know, that's just that, like, oh, shivers, you know, they had some reprieve from it. So then why do, you know, they will want to strive for that. And that's again why I don't care who comes to my wānanga and that, because they're there for a reason, you know. Simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a powerful medicine, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Powerful medicine, raranga. Yeah, you can't, it can never be put in a box, eh? Like,
No.
You know. And that's what I love about this, because this captures something of it.
Yes.
When you can only ever, in the moment, capture something, a little bit of it, but you grasp the enormity of it. It's like trying to grasp the enormity of the universe. The human mind doesn't have the capacity to understand that. So, but being in the flow of it is you can be in the flow of it when you're weaving, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. I love how we go around travel, you know, around the galaxies when we talk about Aotearoa. Well, I see that it's almost 7:45, ladies. Then you can talk. I just wanted to you know, I guess it's probably something. Well, it's 12 minutes. We should think about wrapping up, but I just wanted to offer the floor to each of you before we say goodnight. So maybe we'll go back in the other direction. Vicki, would you like to, if you don't mind, just wrap up anything you want to say before we check out tonight?
I think I've probably covered everything, but I think it's just like I'm constantly blown away with this, you know, when we get together on this, and it just explodes every time, you know. And so for me, you know, you know, I'll say my self-care, my well-being, this is part of it, you know. This being part of this monthly kōrero is part of it, because, you know, even though you guys are all around the mutu, we all have the same love. So, you know, it's really good to have that free kōrero, you know, and awhi. Yeah.
Feel very honoured and privileged to be able to share these moments with you, Vicki. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, would you like to say anything?
I would like to say thank you, Angela and Vicki, for letting me have an insight to, you know, your personal thoughts and things with weaving. Vicki, I really do. I would love to have both of your. Can I join you on Facebook, please, Angela and Vicki, please?
Nice.
I really stalked you on Facebook when we were talking before.
Oh,
Notification photo. Hang on a minute.
oh, that's funny as. Do I just look for your actual names and hope for the best, or is there a certain? Okay,
No,
Angela,
I'll just, if you just look under Vicki Hiha, but it's Vicki with an I, and
Yep.
Hiha is Hiha.
Yep.
If you come,
Oh, like you come with your hee-ha. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
what a neat name, eh?
Yeah, I reckon that's the best.
Oh, I've heard every type
Critchley.
of name with it. It's all good.
No, I'm proud of my name. 100% proud of my
Oh,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. And I've loved this kōrero. And so I actually thought you were doing weekly things on this. And I thought to myself, cool, I'll get to come every week in February. And then I realized that you're not back on until the first week of March, which means I'm in my first class at Te Reo then. So I'm so sorry I won't be able to make it, but I'm kind of like a little bit jelly that I've missed out on all the other ones, if I'm honest.
No,
I've loved this. I've loved this. Thank you.
well, quantity doesn't necessarily equate to quality, and timing is everything. So, yeah, it was perfect that you're able to come tonight, and yeah, we'll just look forward to the next time you're able to turn up. But otherwise, yeah, all the best with that real class, and we'll see you around in the flesh too soon. So
Yeah, well, I'd love to see one of these Wahinima come up on your interview process. Oh, I'd
Yes.
watch that.
oh,
I'd
no,
watch
I'm going to
that.
get dates. I'm taking names and dates very soon. Just got to organise.
Yeah, and as soon as it pops up, I'm going to be like, oh.
I think I might. It's worth travelling down to see them and doing those, eh, Lisa? Maybe we could do a roadie together and do that together, eh? Sometime.
Holy shit, yeah. I mean, if you ladies don't mind, I
Yeah.
would love to come along for that ride.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, and we'll put some dates together if the ladies are up for that. Yeah, I think that will be cool.
Well,
Okay.
that is exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for your time and attention. And last word, Miss Angela.
Hi, sorry about that. Technology is great when it's working, and then when your Chromebook freezes and you don't know what to do, you jump on your iPhone.
Nice, you came back.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for letting me share a little bit about where I'm at the moment, which is yeah, I'm not quite sure where I'm at the moment, but it's nice to have somewhere to come and feel safe to talk about how you're feeling or how I'm feeling about weaving and this new thing that's happening in my life. Because sometimes I still haven't worked out exactly what it is or why I have shifted my entire focus in life to weaving, but I trust that it's for a good reason, and I look forward to seeing what that, where that takes me. Yeah, I'm always up for a meet and a greet whenever. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. So thank you, ladies. And I don't worry anymore, Amber, because I think, oh no, she's going to send me an email and then I'm going to remember when that date is. And so I thank you for always including me in your mail list, your email list. And because whenever I can, I will definitely be there and jump in and join. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, wonderful. Yeah, every single one of you is a huge asset to me, and I'm super grateful. I get more out of this than you guys do. Honoured is it's mana, it's a feather in my cap. It's it's a deposit in my bank. Yeah, your friendship and also the caliber of woman that you each are. When I see that, you know, you're people that would want to turn up and spend time with me, yeah, that's I'm proud of that. You know, I'm proud that people like you would want to come spend some time with me and have a chat. It's a beautiful thing. It's a precious thing. And so I thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And I wish you a wonderful month. And yeah, stay in touch. Go hard, but be gentle also. Take care of yourselves. We're a limited resource, eh? There's only one of us. And yeah, there's only so many hours in the day, and we need to actually spend some of them sleeping and recharging. And yeah, look after yourself, Miss Vicki. I see you smirking there, mate. And yeah, and give your families lots of love.
You see who did 14 hours the other day, prepping, harvesting, prepping, muka. That's why I'm laughing. And then the next day I was like, oh, I'm a bit mummy.
Yeah, that when the moment comes, eh, you got to go for it, eh, buddy? Yeah, and then just recover after. But yeah, anyway, yeah, just grateful, just great. What a amazing group of ladies. Love you heaps. Thank you so much, and I'll see you hopefully next month. But if not, I know that you're out there doing amazing things, so it's all good if I don't see you. But I look forward to the next time we meet. And ka kite, my mates. Ka kite.
Ka kite, pōmari, koutou. Nice to meet you.